this is it. This is what you came for. This is the end game. This is the end of the old world, the false reality. This is what you've been training for many lifetimes, parallel versions of you. You have been training for this very moment. It is go time, people. It is go time. So you guys are light workers, you're star seeds. You're here for a reason. You may feel insignificant. You may feel that you're not special, or that you've done a bad job on earth. You haven't achieved your goals, or you've made mistakes. No, that is far from the truth. Just by being here, you have helped shift the whole frequency of Earth. And this is what we are seeing in our reality at the moment. We're seeing the duality, the polarity. We're seeing it crank up because we are collapsing the false matrix. So if we hadn't have done anything, so if it hadn't have worked, things would just be normal. Things would have just stayed the same. And all of the control systems would have just kept controlling. And so that now they're working really hard to try to create new realities of control, but we're just not falling for it anymore. There are people, though, there are souls that are still wanting to play more of the third dimensional game, and that is okay, because there isn't really, like, as a soul, as an eternal consciousness, it doesn't matter how long something takes. I don't know, I think as humans, because we have a certain limit, like we think we have a certain limit because we only have from birth to death, and then there's nothing else. That's what we've been taught. There's nothing else. Quite often there's different cultures that believe in different things, but we feel like we're limited because we're living in linear time. But if you go beyond time and space, there is this beautiful place of the now, and you can take as long as you want in the now. There's no pressure because you have all the time in the world, because you run the time, you are the time. There is no time. Time is limitless, it's endless. It doesn't even make sense in the higher realm. So it is time to really start to focus on what we want. Be that change maker, be that bringer of excitement, the bringer of happiness, the bringer of what are we interested in, what excites us and delights us and brings us joy. So these are the things that are going to bring us into the new earth, because what I'm seeing is end game, and it's not in a bad way. So I'm seeing Avengers end game. So where there is, you know how all of a sudden half of the population kind of disappears. And I know that I remember seeing Endgame and I just hated it. I was like, that is awful. I am so depressed. I just am not happy with the world at the moment because half the world disappeared. And I just thought it was an awful movie, and I didn't, but I loved it, but I hated it type thing. And what the guides are showing me now is this is kind of end game. This is kind of what it looks like, where there is the earth split. So there is what we're calling the third dimensional reality and the ascension of the fifth dimensional reality, the new earth, the Eden, the organic universe, the prime reality. So there is a split, and I don't want to say it's going to be like Endgame, where people kind of turn to dust and disappear, and then everybody else forgets about them and doesn't even remember them. But it is kind of a similar thing where some people will start to fade out of your life. So you may have already noticed it, that people that aren't resonating on your frequency are kind of disappearing. Like, I have a friend, such a beautiful soul, and she is she's actually a very intuitive person, but she doesn't want to have a bar of it. She doesn't want to know that she's kind of quite psychic. She doesn't want to know any of it. It's like she's scared of it, and that is fair enough. So she's not really resonating probably with what I'm saying anymore. And there's a shift kind of happening where we're not really hanging out. And that's going to be happening with a lot of people. It might be family members that you're not resonating with, friends, communities, and that's okay. You don't have to try really hard to make things work, because we're becoming so dualistic now that it's if the frequencies aren't similar, then the split's going to get more and more. And I don't want you guys to worry about your family members, about your children, your pets. Everything will be okay. So what happens is the timelines, it's like, we call them timelines, but they're actually frequency lines where everything's kind of like little pixels of storyline. So everything's like a little story box. So there's so many different little story boxes of which we call timelines, frequency lines of where we can head. But the majority, because we're co-creating with others in this reality, majority have split more into what we would call two, like the third dimension, fifth dimension, although it definitely isn't two timelines, because everybody within those two major ones have their own reality as well. Not one person is in the same reality. I'm sorry, I don't want you to feel like you're alone, but nobody is in your reality. You are the universe. You're the you in the universe. So it is you. But it's a super fun game that we are playing. So the third dimension is, there are a few different ways that it could go. The souls, everyone has free will, even though, this whole reality has been a control system, but our free will has been manipulated so that we have actually made the decision to choose in the end. So we've made that decision to watch these TV programs, to watch the media, to go to the education systems, to vote, to be in, watch the government, or, do a religion. We've kind of been in these control systems, but now we're kind of, many are awakening to realize that what they thought was serving them no longer serves them. So there's a leveling up of the playing field now, where we are the creators. We're not wanting to co-create with the control systems anymore. We're wanting to create something new. And the third dimensional split is actually the same. They don't want to create with the controllers either, but they're not realizing that there is more than just the control systems, that they are the I am consciousness. They are the universal awareness. They are the universe. They are source energy. So some of the third dimension individuals are just seeing the control, and so they're getting stuck in a loop of the control systems, or they're just, they're just a major survival consciousness. And that's okay, because all souls will survive. Everybody's eternal. Nobody dies. But it just may look like they fade off. It will be like, almost like a Mandela effect, where some people remember, like Luke, I am your father, or no, I am your father, or there's the Fruit Loops one. I don't even know that's Fruit Loops, that's an American one. I'm in New Zealand. But yeah, there's so many different Mandela effects. Like, I don't know, if you guys haven't seen the Mandela effects, check that out on the internet, because it is crazy. But yeah, there is this, the end game. It is crazy. And I promise you, it's not a bad thing. Okay, it's not a bad thing. This is what we came for. This was the ascension that we knew that was going to happen before we came in. We knew that we were going to have to really dig deep, that it was going to be challenging, that it was going to be a little bit chaotic, but we were excited by it. We were thrilled by it. That our soul was like, yeah, give it to me. Give me the works. It's only the human that goes, oh, no, no thanks. I've changed my mind. I don't want the hard stuff. I want it to be easy. So what we really need to do, obviously, it's up to you guys. Whatever resonates, you have free will. But we really need to tune in, get into alignment when we can, even if it's 3 seconds. 3 seconds of alignment can really help your day. So just go into your heart and just take a deep breath and just remember your greatness. Remember your amazingness. Remember your incredibleness. Remember who you are beyond the human brain, beyond the human body, beyond the construct, beyond this game. So trust that you are supported. Trust that you are loved. Trust that you are guided. So your DNA is really starting to activate. So your DNA activates and you'll be coming into more of your special gifts, like your clairvoyance, claircognizance, clairsentience type thing. So I know it gets a bit overwhelming sometimes because you can hear more. Your ears can go a bit weird, like you're what's those, if you go to the movie theaters and there's that surround sound, sometimes when you're coming into your clear audience, it feels like you've got surround sound, and then you can feel a bit of vertigo because you're like, all these noises are coming in. And same with your eyes, same with your feelings, same with your smell. It can be a lot and you can feel like you're going a bit crazy, but just stay with it, ground yourself when you can, do your fun things, do if you like yoga, if you like walks, if you like running, if you like the gym, if you like having a power nap, just do what you enjoy, do what makes you feel good. So this is your purpose. This is what you came in for. So you're going to be vibrating on a higher frequency because you guys that are here watching, you are in the new earth frequency. So of course, we still dip down into third dimension if something happens, like something happens with our family, or we need to pay a bill or something happens, sometimes we'll dip down into third dimension. But we're going to create this default system of where we're more in alignment than ever before. But it's almost like you're training yourself. It's almost like training for a marathon. You just have to keep going, keep trying. And it's a marathon. It's not easy to keep going. You just want to give up. But we are, getting into alignment more and more than ever before because we're realizing how out of alignment we are. Normally we would keep going. We would just keep being stressed, keep being overwhelmed, keep in survival consciousness. But now we're questioning. We're like, oh, that doesn't feel good. I don't like that anymore. What do I like now? Or what foods do taste better or make me feel better? Or do I need to exercise more? Like we're questioning more, which is a great thing. So what we need to do for New Earth is it is already available in the quantum fields, but we need to visualize as well what we want and just feel it happening. So what world would you want to create? So the split is really interesting because when you see how polarized everything is, with the fighting with politics, the wars, the just madness. We've really been called to see it, and it really makes you think, no, that's not what I want at all. That's what I don't want. And it really shows you that that is the world that I do not want to create. So then you can choose the opposite. So you don't want war, so you want more peace. You don't want people to be sick, so you want more wellness. You don't want people to be in poverty, so we want more abundance of financial freedom. So we look at the third dimension, we're looking at the opposite to what New Earth is. So New Earth is filled with peace, love, prosperity, abundance for all, like financial freedom and fun and flow and connecting to our higher selves and just our gifts coming online. There's so much good stuff. So we're tuning it back into our original divine blueprint. So the third dimensional game, there's a few different ways that it can go. It's almost like even if that whole third dimension kind of, say they blew themselves up. I know that's a bit harsh. Don't worry, don't stress out. What would happen is they'd go straight to like a new time, kind of like a new timeline, where it would be they'd still have an opportunity to ascend. So, but it would be without the control system. So what we've done is we've collapsed the dark agenda, the control system. So even if that third dimension, like it couldn't be controlled for much longer. So what would happen is those souls in the third dimension would collapse the old timeline, and then they'd shift to a new timeline where they could continue their ascension journey because they really want it, because that's a fun thing for the soul, is to experience ascension, because we're already ascended. We're ascended masters already. So we're playing the opposite game of what we are not. So they don't want to miss out on ascension because we're going to be ascending. So they're going to be ending up where we are. But they just want to keep playing the game for a bit longer. So that's fun. Good on them. That's really impressive. It's a really powerful soul that can stay in a lower dense energy, that can keep themselves down. It's almost like the guides are showing me like a wine cork. It's almost what they're doing is they're trying to push the wine cork under the water. And how hard is it to keep the wine cork under the water? So what we're doing, we've just given up. We're just like, okay, I just can't be bothered anymore with the third dimension. So that our wine cork has just popped up to the top, and the wine cork is basically just starting to float up to the clouds. And the third dimension reality is like trying to push the cork down into denser, thicker energy. And that, it's very hard work. So it's very impressive of them to do that. And I mean, obviously it's impressive for us to try and stay in alignment, because that's hard to stay in alignment because it's the opposite of what we were taught. We were taught to struggle. We were taught to survive. We were taught everything was hard work. We were taught so much drama, even just, they were like, and moving house is just so stressful and terrible. It's like, no, it's exciting. It's an adventure. Like, we need to shift our perception about things and just think, how exciting, So yeah, the end game is here, and it's not a bad thing. It means that ascension is here. So you will see a further split, and all of a sudden, there will be people that fade out, and you'll be like, I kind of remember that person. Was, my friend was like 10 years ago, that friend that I used to hang out with, but I don't really see anymore. Wonder what they're up to. Like, you won't even really know where they are or where they went. I mean, a few people could leave in other ways, but it's okay. It's nothing to be afraid of. It's actually super exciting. And the ones that, if they did pass away early, they are actually lucky, aren't they? Because they get to go back to the higher realms. They get to go back to their true family, their true self again. Even though we haven't left our true self, we haven't left our soul, we haven't left our soul family, everything's still here. We're just dreaming that they're not here. We just are in a reality, like a virtual reality game that has been gone rogue, So everything's still here. Like if I want to tune into my guides, if I want to tune into past family members that have passed on, if I want to tune into angelics, galactics, they're all right here. They're all within me. Like it's just a frequency shift. It's just changing the radio station. I don't, like if I change Netflix, I just push a button. I don't drive 500 miles to change my Netflix channel to get into a different reality. I just push a button and change the channel. And that's what it's like in the universe. If you're going into a different reality field, a different realm, a different dimension, a different frequency, you're literally just shifting the frequency. So everyone's still here. Nobody's gone. It's all just a big illusion. It's a big delusional game that we're playing. And I think we're crazy because we went so deep and so far. And there's some stuff that I would say that I wouldn't create, but obviously I am part of the creation. So yeah, there's some stuff that I think, ooh, that's gone way too wrong. But in the end, what helps me sleep at night is knowing that all souls will return to source. All souls will be well. No soul dies, and that all is well. So, yeah. So comment, guys, if you've got any questions or anything. I love to hear from you. It's so important to hear from you guys because you are the ones that I'm talking to here. So, yeah, Earth Endgame, Earth split. Wow. This is crazy. Who knew? Who knew when you were born? Who knew that it was going to be like this? That's, I haven't even talked about aliens yet, have I, today? So I did mention galactics, but honestly, wow, our world has just been turned upside down. And that's actually what they say, what I have turned into, that the false matrix is like an inverted carbon copy of the prime reality, the organic universe, the new earth, the Eden, the fifth dimension. It's like a reversed, like a backwards carbon copy. So inverted. So it's coming back out to the organic way of how it's meant to be, the original divine universe, the divine blueprint. So yes, if everything is backwards, it's because we were backwards. We were living in a messed up, distorted version of our reality. So, God, we're amazing. I'm just hearing the guides say, how amazing is that you guys have flipped the whole false matrix over. You've actually turned it upside down. You've collapsed the systems. Super impressive. Wow, we must be good, eh? We got this. We got this. All right, keep going. Have fun with it. Don't worry. Remember, no one will be lost. Everybody will be at the Great Awakening at the same time because there is no time. We move beyond time and space, and then all souls will meet up together and we will celebrate and we will laugh and we will say, we were crazy, and we will say, wow, we believed all of that, and we'll be like, wow, we are so much more powerful than we ever realized that we were. So keep going. You can do it. I love you guys. Please like, subscribe, follow, and comment below. That really helps me out. I love you. All right. See you real soon in New Earth.